Hello everyone and welcome to your second royal reading today here at MadWorldTarot. It's Halloween, it's the end of October, a Friday here as I'm doing these readings, and of course we're reading in the context of the news that Prince Andrew is now just Mr. Mountbatten Windsor, and I'm looking at the consequences in Montecito. That's where I'm more interested in reading today. I've looked at Harry in this context, and interestingly, it looks like it could be quite liberating for Harry to lose his titles and find himself as plain old Mr. Mountbatten Windsor with a fresh start, basically, an opportunity rather than a loss. How about Madame? How will she respond? How's she feeling? And what will happen to her if, as seems very likely, her title goes as well, Duchess of Sussex, and no chance of rebranding herself, restyling herself as Princess Meghan, as she loves to be called. Apprentice Tarot on the tarot table. I'm going to do exactly the same reading as I did for Harry, so quite a long reading, so bear with me, and we'll see whether she had a heads up that this news was about to break, because she has been absolutely frenetic. A lot of people have been wondering why all the mad PR from Paris to New York to Washington, back to LA, the pumpkin patch video, the launch of a million things on her As Ever website, and then of course the Dodgers game over the weekend. It's been busy, it's been kind of manic. Did she know? And was she shocked? How did she feel when she heard the Andrew news? How's she feeling for herself and impact on the marriage? A lot of people speculating that if their titles go, the marriage goes too. And then we'll look at her in the future, as and when she becomes Mrs. Mountbatten Windsor, and we'll look at various aspects of her life, and then her response to all of this as and when it happens, and who will she blame. So that's what I'm looking at today, and of course it's tarot, and it's for fun and entertainment. It's all my opinions, all speculation, and of course I just read energy here, and there is a disclaimer in the box below. So let's get to it. Meghan, did she have a heads up that this was coming? Does it explain some of the oddness recently? Was she shocked? How's she feeling now? Marriage. And then with the four cards, it's about her sense of self, her money-making opportunities, relationship with the rest of the royals, and public perception of her as and when titles go. Her response, how will she react or cope, and who will she blame when this all happens? So we got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, much more destabilizing for her. This news, the scenario, and the prospects coming for her, destabilizing. It's going to rock her. It has rocked her. That she thought she was onto a sure thing with her Princess Meghan. She had the Duchess of Sussex thing on her Longchamp travel bag. She was launching all her products. We've had the next tranche of the Christmas season stuff, all a direct rip-off of Highgrove stuff, it looks like, Daily Mail today. It's wresting that pentacle from her grasp, from the claw. And of course it's the Princess of Wales energy as well, the Queen of Pentacles, and it's in reverse, that rivalry, that very one-sided rivalry that Meghan seems to have going towards the Princess of Wales. It's all in that card. That's our underlying energy. Let's get to the actual reading. What are we dealing with? The heart of the matter today. Oh yeah, there it is. So much worse for Meghan than for Harry. 10 of Swords. This is calamitous. This is absolute ruin. The end. Betrayed, devastated by bad news. Devastated by bad news. Harry is liberated by it. It was very interesting reading. Strange, but interesting. And I do like strange, but interesting. That's just me. So let's move on. That's the heart of the reading. Self-explanatory. Bad day for her. Did she see it coming? Did she have some sense that this was coming? A sense of an ending? That's the Andrew news. Yes. Got the world and it's in reverse. It's public, waiting for this news to be made public. I think she knew. My money's on Princess Eugenie, perhaps giving them a heads up that this was certainly in the offing. It was being discussed. The world is success and completion when it's upright. In reverse, it's failure, not achieving your goals, what you wanted to achieve. So I think she was waiting for this to drop, this news to drop. I do think she knew, and it's big news. And the World is a massive card in tarot because it's the last of the major arcana. It's the end of that journey that you've gone through from newbie, from the Fool, all the way through to being judged for how you have done in that particular cycle. And then you move on. And this is a very, very serious situation that she's heard about, I believe, and was waiting to be revealed. And I believe that is why we had all this very strange kind of manic PR stuff going on recently, this oversaturation, overexposure that a lot of people were commenting on. So let's move on to her feelings when the Andrew news broke. Was she shocked, surprised? What was her view? Very Four of Swords in reverse. Very, very shocked by it, wounded by it. The Four of Swords is a wounding kind of a card. It's being wounded by something that has happened and needing to take time out and heal and recover, but it's ruined reputation as well. She's looking at it and thinking, I can't believe that this has happened. This is ruin for him. We've got the two cards of ruin, the Ten of Swords and the Four of Swords on this tarot table. Ruinous for him. And how's he going to face the public, face the world? Four of Swords in reverse, sitting under the World in reverse. How's he going to show his face in public, having been so humiliated, so ruined? Completely different energy to Harry's. How's she feeling? That's the Andrew news. Her own potential loss of title, most likely loss of title. How's she feeling right now? And we got the Seven of Cups, and it's in reverse. For me, this card, when it's in reverse, is you run out of road. It's options when it's upright, and it's a certain level of delusion and fantasy and kind of a pretense to yourself. And it's in reverse. That means that she's realized that the end is coming. It's running out of options. Doors are closing. It's cold, hard reality. It's a very difficult energy. If you've been living in a fantasy, a bubble, like I believe she has, that suddenly having to deal with reality. And it can be that she might have taken to substances, whether alcohol or other kinds of substances. I'm speculating wildly, my opinion, all of this and all allegedly, in that kind of energy to try and deal with this really grim news. These are grim cards, quite unlike Harry's energy. Harry is finding freedom with this, as far as I can tell, as an energy reader. Meghan is really very threatened by this so far. Maybe the cards will take a different turn, but this is so far. What impact is this situation having on the marriage from her perspective? Wow, Seven of Pentacles. Harry also got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse in his reading, not in the marriage context though. A waste of time, waste of effort. Didn't have the outcome that she expected. It was all a waste. She put all that time and effort in, the 7 years that she put into her marriage, and she got nothing to show for it. She thought, I do believe personally, that she would walk away from the marriage when it suited her to do so and be a Fergie. She would be the Duchess of Sussex, and she could continue to monetize that royal adjacency as much as she liked, without the nuisance of has been around and having to pretend to love him and claw at him and all the rest of it. That's my opinion. And suddenly that's gone. And who would have thought? I think she even thought that she would be able to call herself Princess Meghan at some stage, Princess Henry or whatever. None of that. Just Mrs Mountbatten Whinger. And everyone will always call her Meghan Markle, of course. So let's take ourselves into the future, and hypothetically speaking, if the title is removed, Duchess of Sussex, how will she perceive herself? How will she feel about herself then? Oh, Ace of Swords. Yeah, so much worse. Restricted, insecure, afraid, isolated, fearful of for her future. She won't know how to handle this. She won't know how to extricate herself from the very negative situation that she finds herself in. We're just getting swords on this tarot table. Swords are always very difficult because they're your thoughts that you have to contend with. And these are self-limiting thoughts, restrictive thoughts. She doesn't have the vision to reimagine herself as something different. This is what she has pinned all her hopes on. Her vision boards have been manifesting for years, if not decades, by all accounts. I think quite a few people have said that through the course of her life she's had vision boards that have had royal family kind of energy on them. She doesn't know who she is without this. That's my opinion. Let's talk about money-making opportunities. Next card down. Let's move that one out the way. What's it going to do for her ability to merge herself? Ace of Wands. She's going to have to get creative. She's going to have to come up with something new. A whole new vibe. It's going to have to be completely different. It can't be all this tweed jam and bubbles and stuff like that, honey, and ripping off Highgate and the Highgrove, sorry, Highgrove and that whole vibe. She can't do that. She's going to have to come up with something new. Ace of Wands. She's going to have to. I'm beginning to wonder if that's not why we're hearing rumors that she's become the global ambassador of Soho House, and that's why Marcus is around again. I was actually going to read on that yesterday. I was going to read on Soho House yesterday, also because of Lady C's very bad fall, and sending very best wishes to Lady C. It looks like it was a very, very bad incident, and she's in a lot of pain, struggling right now. So that was the reading that I was going to do yesterday, but I got caught up in some music related stuff with one of my girls, and I just didn't get around to it. She's going to have to come up with something new, and my money's on Soho House and that ambassadorship and Marcus. I think that's why Marcus is around mostly. So what about her relationship with the royals? If she's just Mrs Mountbatten Whinger, any relationship with them? Well, goodbye Diana too, Queen of Cups in reverse. That's not going to fly anymore. She's going to have to let go of that. And it's a very cold energy, the Queen of Cups in reverse. It's being unpopular, unloved. If she ever shows up at any kind of family events, we're going to get the same kind of energy that we got at the Platinum Jubilee thing at St Paul's, where people were obviously uncomfortable around her when they were waiting on the steps afterwards. Same thing at the late Queen's funeral. Nobody wanted to talk to her. They all kind of shuffled sideways to get away from her. They protected the kids around her. They closed ranks against her. How about that? That's that kind of energy. We first saw it with the famous scarfing incident at the Christmas service at Sandringham, and more of that, more of scarfing. Queen of Cups in reverse. What about the public? How's the public going to see her? They're going to feel sorry for her. They're going to support her. Queen of Swords in reverse. They're going to blame her for this. The Queen of Swords is shrewd energy, more wise than emotional. We've got two queens here, and they're both in reverse, so they're very negative. She's going to have a hard time with the royals. She's going to have a hard time with the public. She's going to be very unpopular. She's going to be criticized by the public. I think the public is going to blame her for this. They're going to blame her for being too strategic in her way of treating people and the royals and her life. They're going to blame her for her alleged bullying behavior, with that Queen of Swords just being very harsh, too harsh to people, too harsh on Harry, too harsh on the royals, too harsh on staff, on colleagues. They're not going to feel sorry for her. Put it that way. They're going to blame her. Queen of Swords thinks she's clever but isn't really also, so they're going to think all this whip smart stuff we've heard over the years. Well, you thought you were so clever, but now look, there's going to be that. I don't envy her, wouldn't want to be in her shoes, those extra large shoes. How is she going to respond, as and when? Nine of Swords in reverse. This is her living nightmare. She's really going to struggle. I think she's going to struggle with mental health. That's my personal opinion, speculation. Even though the card is in the reverse and it can mean kind of relaxing after a very stressful time, recovering after a very stressful period, I see it as the reverse. I see it as just becoming increasingly kind of paranoid, mentally disordered. There's potential in there for almost having to have some kind of treatment, some time away, some maybe rehab, or some kind of rest period in some kind of facility. That's coming through for me. I don't think she's going to handle this well at all. Final question for today. Who will she blame? Didn't look like Harry was blaming her. Looked like Harry was almost grateful to her in the previous reading. Who's she going to blame? And I've got the Two of Wands and it's in reverse. She's going to blame him largely because it's your partner, the Two of Wands, the person that you made these plans with, the person that you believed you were going to conquer the world with. But I think other people in the mix as well, other partners, more hidden partners that we don't necessarily know about. I'm going to use a strong word, co-conspirators, and I don't mean that they were literally gunpowder plot kind of conspiracy people. I mean the Dorias, the Oprahs, the Gayle Kings, who apparently has also just lost her job, ha ha ha, the Marcuses, the Friends, the Eugenies, anybody that was the Jessica Mulrooney's, all of those people who were on her side at some point, Omid or Scooby-Doo, anyone that was part of this whole plot is not the right word, but I can't think of a better word. Again, I'm not meaning that there was anything criminal or conspiratorial in it. I'm not tinfoil hat territory here, me personally. But anyone that kind of helped her get to where she got to is going to be blamed. It's not massive energy. Her focus isn't going to be on blaming. Her focus is going to be on how to survive and how to reinvent herself, and being really loathed. And I think she is going to be loathed. 3 queens in reverse on the tarot table. Sorry, I've only just realized. Interesting. That's your reading. I think the fun has only just begun. So I'm here for it. Hope you are too. See you again tomorrow.